Hi, good morning from New York City. Today is December 31st, 2017. Wherever you are, for some of you, of course, it's already 2018. And wherever we are soon, it will be 2018. A convenient human construct to reflect on the last year and then let out our hopes and wishes for the new year. So I've been reflecting a lot about the year 2017, and some of the major things that come to my mind is a new presidency in the United States, a lot of polarization and vitriolic anger between the two parties, Democrats and Republicans, controversial elections, the Me Too revolution brought about by women, a lot of conflict in the world, belligerence from North Korea, unrest in Iran, hacking from Russia, not only in the United States but also in many other countries, and basically a very wounded and torn world. I think almost to the point of insanity. We have a lot of insanity in the world, a wounded planet. Social conflict, communal conflict, religious conflict, war, terrorism, extinction of species, mechanized death, climate change, modern capacities for total extinction, and Bronze Age mythologies without any rationality, posing as religions, and this combination of lack of emotional development, Bronze Age tribal behavior, and modern capacities for destruction are bringing us close to extinction. So that's the pessimistic evaluation of where we are right now at the end of 2017. But humans have an amazing capacity to create new constructs. Humans have an amazing capacity to bring their dreams into reality. Human beings have an amazing capacity to come up with creative solutions. And as a Chinese prophecy or a Chinese saying goes, where there is danger, there is opportunity. So right now, I am also focusing on the opportunities that lie ahead of us in the year 2018. And these opportunities will come to fruition if we all shift in our consciousness. My hope has always been that we can reach a critical mass of consciousness in the world, at least 1 billion of us. 1 billion of us. That's why I'm asking you to also become members of Jayo community. Please download the app, Jayo, J-I-Y-O. on Android or on iTunes. Join the Jayo community by going to jayo.com. But my hope is that we all shift in consciousness, that we at least have 1 billion people shift in consciousness so that we can move in the direction of a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier and joyful world. This can only happen not because our leaders are going to change, because our leaders are a reflection of our collective consciousness. This can only happen if we together can be the change that we want to see in the world. That was Mahatma Gandhi's original admonishment. Can you be the change you want to see in the world? For peace can only be created by those who are peaceful. Love can only be shown by those who have loved. Sustainability can only happen if we live sustainable lives, both biologically and in our actions in the world and in our taking care of our environment. And social and economic justice can only come about if we have loving kindness, compassion, empathy, joy, and equanimity. Yes, it is Jayo, J-I-Y-O, jayo.com. So, this is my wish for all of us as we look forward to the year 2018. It's not even that difficult. You know, there are 3 Sanskrit words that come to mind. Seva, which means service. Satsang, which means creating a sangha or a community. And today the community is our world. Right now, here is our community. Here on jayo.com and many similar social networks. We are creating a global brain, a global neural network, so we can bring about this shift. It can be accelerated if we participate. So, service, seva, satsang, creating a global community, a global neural network, right here in this space. But we can also create our own local communities. My local community in California is the Chopra Center, and my local community in New York is Deepak Home Base at the corner of 18th and Broadway. At the corner of, between 18th and 19th on Broadway, downtown New York. So come and visit sometime. ABC Carpet and Home, the mezzanine level, where we gather regularly to have satsang. So satsang both here in our global community and satsang creating sanghas in our local communities. And then the third Sanskrit phrase, Simran, remembering our true nature. Our true nature is not our body or our mind or our personality or our ego identity squeezed into the volume of a body in the span of a lifetime. Our true nature is timeless being, which is also the realm of infinite creativity, the realm of infinite love, the realm of unpredictability, the source of intentionality, and where we are non-locally inseparable from each other. We are non-locally entangled with each other. The ultimate experience of love, not as a mere sentiment, not as a mere emotion, although those are great, but as the ultimate truth at the heart of all creation, at the heart of the universe. So let's do it this year, my friends. Let's engage in seva, service, satsang, creating the sangha of like-minded spiritual beings, and simran, our daily attention to the true self through practices such as Raj Yoga, self-reflection, meditation, mindful awareness, but also through Bhakti Yoga, devotion and love, through Jnana Yoga, reflection and self-inquiry, and through Karma Yoga, doing the best we can, working to help each other with impeccability, and leaving the results to the great unknown. Let's do it this year. Let's do it this year. Please join together so we can do it this year. And so before I conclude, I also want to express my gratitude to all of you for being here every day, for giving me your feedback, for engaging in this conversation, for hanging in there despite what is obviously an insane world. And we cannot be part of this insanity, and we can actually create sanity even in our world leaders, because they are the localized expression of our own selves. Also, I want to greatly thank you this year for supporting You Are the Universe, discovering your cosmic self and why it matters. With your help, with your support, we have actually expanded the conversation tremendously. Lastly, I also want to say something to our world leaders. And this is directed at all world leaders, but particularly at the leaders of the most contentious countries right now in the world. The leaders of the United States, the leaders of North Korea, the leaders of Iran, the leaders in violent regimes and movements such as ISIS, the leaders in Syria, the leaders in Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, the leaders in many European countries. Here is something to think about, dear leaders. Your greatest contribution to your country and to your community and to your organization and to your movement can be your ability to increase the capacity for happiness, joy, and health and well-being in your own citizens. So that would be something that you could be proud of as your legacy. But here's something even more important. If you increase the capacity, or if you work toward increasing the capacity for happiness and joy and well-being in your perceived enemies, they won't be your enemies anymore. The best way for us to disarm those that we perceive as our enemies, is to help them increase their capacity for health, well-being, joy and happiness. Because ultimately, even the happiness of our perceived enemies affects us. It affects us. Consciousness is a field, and this consciousness is a non-local field where everything is inseparable. And when that field shifts in its critical mass, it shifts for all of us. So today, let us, as Ramanand Dixit just stated, let us forgive our perceived enemies, not because we necessarily think they deserve forgiveness, but because we forgive because we all deserve peace, including our perceived enemies. When they are at peace, they will no longer be violent. In the presence of peaceful awareness, all beings cease to feel hostility. So if we are established in that peaceful awareness, then all beings around us will cease to feel hostility. And if there's a critical mass in that consciousness field of peaceful presence, then there will be peace in the world. So, can we do this? Is it such a difficult thing to do? Why haven't we done it in all these thousands of years? In all these thousands of years, there have been peaceful beings in every country. But today, with our technology, today with our ability to communicate with each other, today with our capacity to understand that the fundamental ground of all existence is quantum entanglement. I say this at the risk of annoying my scientific critics, but that's fine. Ultimately, that which we call space-time and the material world emerges from quantum entangled information. And information is the resolution of uncertainty in our own consciousness. So let us resolve the uncertainty that is present in our world, the uncertainty of what is going to happen to our children and their children if climate change continues. What is going to happen to them if there is increased social and economic injustice? What is going to happen if there's continued war and conflict? You can see, it looks like Armageddon, but the opposite is also true. We can see through the vision that we can all hold in our consciousness, a vision of a heavenly existence on our planet with peace, justice, sustainability, health, joy, and equanimity. Ultimately, transcendence and true ecstasy. Ecstasy at a level of physicality, the ecstasy of being alive in this body, ecstasy at the level of archetypal, harmonious interactions of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and ultimately sacred ecstasy. Sacred ecstasy. So I will end today with my favorite few quotes that I put together after I visited the Dead Sea Scrolls in Israel, putting together the various songs of Solomon and sayings from the prophets of the Old Testament. Here it goes. Some human, in his longing for the divine union and ultimately achieving that divine union, says to that which is the divine in all of us, says, "You split me and you tore my heart open and you filled me with love. You poured your spirit into mine. I knew you as I know myself. My eyes are radiant with your light. My ears delight in your music, and my nostrils are filled with your fragrance. You have made me see all things shining. You have made me see all things new. You have granted me perfect ease, and I have become like paradise. And having become like paradise, my soul is healed." Let 2018 be the year where our collective soul is healed. Happy New Year.